How Malaysia broke free from British colonial rule. The Untold Story. Welcome back to Globe Gazers. Today, we're diving into a powerful story of resilience, diplomacy, and unity, how Malaysia broke free from British colonial rule. This is more than just a tale of independence. It's an untold story of strategic alliances, cultural unity, and determination that shaped modern Malaysia. If you're ready to discover how Malaysia rose to the challenge, make sure to like, subscribe, and let's get started. 1. Malaysia under British colonial rule. To understand how Malaysia achieved independence, we need to go back to the late 19th century, when the British Empire had already extended its reach to Southeast Asia. Malaysia, then known as Malaya, was rich in natural resources like tin and rubber, which made it a valuable asset for British economic interests. British control was established gradually. The British adopted indirect rule, working with local sultans while holding influence over economic policies, military, and international relations. This set up a complex political landscape where the British retained power but depended on local leaders to enforce it. 2. The emergence of Malayan identity and nationalism. As Malaya's economy grew, so did its diverse population. Malays, Chinese, and Indian communities coexisted, each group contributing to the economy and culture. This diversity, while initially challenging, became a foundation for Malayan identity. By the 1930s, a sense of nationalism had taken root. Leaders like On Jafar, founder of the United Malays National Organization, UMNO, advocated for Malay unity. And in the 1940s, the Malayan Communist Party, MCP, mainly led by Chinese Malaysians, resisted Japanese occupation during World War II, which fueled anti-colonial sentiments against the British once they returned. The post-war era brought intense political discussions and a shared desire for self-governance, even among different ethnic groups. Malayan leaders started to envision an independent future, a nation that could stand on its own. 3. The Malayan Union and its aftermath. In 1946, the British proposed the Malayan Union, a plan that would centralize governance and grant equal rights to all ethnic groups in Malaya. However, it faced significant backlash from the Malay community, who felt it threatened their cultural identity and political power. Malays, led by UMNO, launched protests against the Malayan Union. The British were eventually forced to abandon the idea, realizing they needed Malay cooperation for any future plans. This was a crucial moment. It showed the British that the Malayan people were united and politically conscious. This unity among Malaysians was the start of a stronger independence movement, showing that the people could negotiate with the British for a future that aligned with their interests. 4. The Malayan Emergency and the struggle for independence. Then came the Malayan Emergency, a guerrilla war that lasted from 1948 to 1960. This conflict between British forces and the Malayan National Liberation Army, a communist insurgency, was a turning point in the struggle for independence. The British declared a state of emergency to counter the communist threat, which they saw as part of the larger Cold War. This led to strict policies, heavy military presence, and even relocations of entire communities. But ironically, it also built sympathy for Malaya's independence cause, as many Malaysians grew tired of British military control. While the emergency was a difficult time, it showcased the resilience of Malayan leaders and the people. By uniting different ethnic communities against a common cause, Malaya's leaders further strengthened the push for independence. 5. Negotiations for independence. By the early 1950s, it became clear that Britain was more open to discussing Malaya's self-rule, particularly after witnessing successful independence movements in other colonies. In 1955, Malaya held its first elections, which led to Tunku Abdul Rahman becoming the chief minister. Tunku Abdul Rahman led negotiations with the British, emphasizing Malaya's readiness for self-governance and a peaceful transition. His diplomatic approach played a vital role in convincing Britain to consider full independence. Alongside other leaders, he presented a vision of a multicultural Malaysia that could maintain peace and stability. This approach was successful, and on August 31, 1957, Malaya gained independence. Tunku Abdul Rahman famously shouted, "Merdeka," meaning freedom, a call that resonated across the nation. 6. Formation of Malaysia and the final step to independence. But the story doesn't end there. In 1963, Malaya joined forces with Singapore, Sabah, and Sarawak to form Malaysia. This expanded vision was part of Tunku Abdul Rahman's strategy to create a stronger, unified state in Southeast Asia. Although Singapore eventually separated in 1965, the formation of Malaysia marked the final chapter in Malaya's independence journey. It united regions with diverse populations under one national identity, giving Malaysia the foundation for the thriving, multicultural country it is today. While the road wasn't easy, each step, from resisting colonial policies to negotiating peacefully, was a testament to Malaysia's commitment to its vision of independence. 7. The legacy of Malaysia's independence. Today, Malaysia's independence is a source of pride and inspiration. It shows that independence doesn't always require conflict. It can also come from unity, negotiation, and a commitment to peace. Malaysia's journey is unique because it combined diplomacy, cultural unity, and resilience to overcome colonial influence. It stands as a reminder that strength lies not only in a nation's resources but in its people's commitment to their shared identity. And that's the untold story of how Malaysia broke free from British colonial rule. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like and subscribe. Which part of Malaysia's independence journey did you find most interesting? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep exploring history's hidden stories with us here on Globe Gazers.